Welcome to the Uncle Jimmy and Cousin Donnie Show, sponsored by the Beacon Tap, Signature Transportation Group, and now Cut Shot. Donnie, what's up, my man? How are you doing today?
It's a great Tuesday here at the Uncle Jimmy Cousin Donnie Show. We've got a couple big announcements, some great guests in store. We have a lot of things to go over as well, as we had a busy weekend in Iowa, and then we got a list we got to get to. There's a whole lot to do on the show tonight, so thank you guys for joining us, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
I am so excited. You know why?
Why?
Because I get to share a video of somebody 2 weeks ago at my dome, okay? In the tournament at the dome, getting it's great. And this is how the tournament ends, okay? I did not share it last week. Not really sure why, but I did it, okay? I just forgot about it. And by the way, before we get into the video, happy haircut, Donnie. And
thank you.
Happy haircut to Uncle Jimmy. Uncle Jimmy.
Thank you. Got rid of my guy Joel at Mago Styling Cave. A signature member now. We get discounts on haircuts now, by the way.
Oh, is that what happens now?
That was a big addition, and now we get discounts on haircuts. Cut it all off. I was gonna go bald, but he talked me out of it.
Yep.
I'm so curious to see this video.
I know, before I get to the video, I know Rich Rizzo just mentioned about the Bob Plesniak. He passed away yesterday, so our condolences out to him. He ran the Monster team. I know, Donnie, when you weren't born yet, but back in the day, he was obviously a good guy for softball, but of course, Rich Rizzo beat me to the punch, as he always does on the show. So, one of those things that he always does. Yep.
I have another little shout out before we get into the show here.
Okay.
It's one of our favorite human beings' birthdays today. A guy that's been on the show a few times.
The Birdman?
He absolutely not.
No.
He is bald. He is a No Glove national champion. John Zawaski.
Ooh, our boy Zozo.
Boy Zo's birthday. He's turning 52 today.
Oh, beautiful. He's not eligible for being a major player at Papa Hops. Beautiful thing.
Yeah. My guy, John Zawaski. Happy birthday to my guy.
Yep. So first, I am going to share. This was the tournament at GoPro Sports Dome. Okay. I want to share. Should I do the video first or the team first?
Do the video first.
All right. So video here. This is, now I know it's bad quality. Don't get me wrong. I have to end this. This is how the tournament ends at 6 in the morning. And take a guess, Donnie. And I'll replay that. Take a guess who was on first base.
That's Chris Harris.
Yes, our boy, Chris Harrison gets picked off to end the tournament. You know what I mean? He gets picked off to end the tournament, and Team Rejects win the February 21st GoPro, as we would call it, one pitch overnight tournament.
Behind the back pickoff.
And take a guess who did that? A former Team Jagoff player.
That's Mr. Anthony Stacy.
Anthony Stacy with a behind the back pickoff on our boy Chris Harrison to end the tournament.
That was sick. That was a really go back, play that one more time.
I will do that.
Play it one more time. on the mound. They go. Sick.
Yeah.
That's
So
sick.
this is
And
where
that's
I
how the
want to
game
throw a
ended.
little. I want to throw a little quick shout out to our boy Steve Batnage. So our boy Steve Batnage used to always do that move behind the back, and he was one of the best at it. So pretty funny. But I knew you would enjoy that, not only because it was Chris Harrison, but also because it was behind the back pickoff move.
That
Pretty
was
sick.
awesome.
Pretty cool, huh?
That was sick.
Yeah, no, pretty sick. And it couldn't have happened to a better guy. You know,
Chris Harris, man, that's great.
Chris Harrison will be running a tournament by me again a week from Friday. So I know he's going to be doing it again. That tournament will start at 10:15 p.m. on that Friday night in the Dome. So I know Chris does. He puts a lot of effort into getting those teams out there. I know some people say, you know, he is what he is when it comes to the payments and stuff. But, hey, you know, I don't know that part. I let him rent the Dome. But he does do a lot of work for it. So you got to give him some credit on that aspect as well. Really quick, I know I sent you something earlier today.
Yeah.
About the Iowa. So why don't you pull that up as I go through and pull this up. I've got some pictures just from the Iowa Hall of Fame.
If you want to just scroll through those, I'll read this.
Yep.
The second annual Iowa 16-inch Softball Hall of Fame. The class of 2026 was announced. Brandon Dutton, Corey Burkett, Jake Reynolds, Bob Hasley, the Stover team, Graphic Edge, the sponsor, and Bob Fassbender got a service award. There's Brandon Dutton there in the photo. I know we saw Jake Reynolds.
I've had a lot of Miller Lights with Brandon Dutton over the time, so you know.
Okay, that's good to know. Corey Burke, I'm probably saying that incorrectly. Burkett or Burkett?
It sounds great to me. But
Thanks,
these are all of the inductees in the Iowa Hall of Fame this weekend. So I believe there's one video. Who's that guy in the middle, Donnie?
Hey, who's that fella?
That is Mr. Paul Rowan, the president of the Hall of Fame.
Pretty
Made
cool.
his way down, flew down to Iowa last minute, and
Did he really?
Yeah, joined the party. So I wish I would have known he was doing that. I probably could have made plans ahead of time, and he could have been my co-host down there since you were having your birthday weekend.
Yep. Yeah.
So, but all is fun. So I'll just go through the pictures. Obviously, Jake there, Mr. Paul Rowan with Jake there.
It's my guy, Mike Knox.
Yep. I'm assuming I do not know that guy, but take a guess.
Here.
Take a guess who that is.
It's Mr. Hasley.
There's our boy Dutton. Ooh.
That's the guy here. That's our boy Dutton. That is Burkett.
Okay.
Burkett.
This is
There's
our
John
boy
Riegland from the Graphic Edge. I'm messing these names up. I apologize, but congrats to the Hall of Fame inductees.
That's our boy Bob,
Fassbender,
right?
Yeah.
You know, Bob looks like he can have a Miller Lite or two with Uncle Jimmy. What do you think?
Yeah, he probably could hang a little bit.
I bet he could. And then there's Jake Reynolds' family there. So I had that one put up because, you know, Jake is a friend of ours.
Yeah.
He's a big supporter of what we do on the show. One too many. Sorry about that, guys. I just wanted to see Staples again. Staples in appearance.
It was weird. It's weird seeing Jake Reynolds in like formal attire.
Right?
Because I only see him in uniforms and jerseys and shorts.
Right. So,
because remember last year when we went, he was real sick and he wasn't there.
Yeah, you're right. No, he was there and left. Remember, he got nervous.
Yeah.
He was all nervous how the day was going to go, and so he left.
He said he wasn't feeling well.
Yeah, he said he wasn't feeling well because he didn't want to hear any of the negativity that went on, and then he found out it was awesome. So that way, this year he made it.
Burkett.
So,
Appreciate it.
Donnie,
let's do it.
I just wanted to say, you know, our boy,
the man, cut shot.
You know, hey, I was going around with this bat, and I said, you know what, dude? Nah, throw that one aside. We're with the cut shot now, huh? Yeah. So,
Here, I'll grab mine.
The other 3 cut shot bats that I have, they're all in the car, I believe, or in my closet. So I brought them in, Donnie, for the winter. So
this is the most recent one until the new release comes out. I think they're going to start shipping in April.
Yes. This is the one that I have. So all the ones I have are the 38 end loads. Because it's a man's bat. That's what men swing. What are you swinging nowadays, Donnie? The 32?
I have a 34 end load.
Oh, 34 end load. So because you don't listen and you can't follow instruction, when the guy sends you a box, he tells you not to open the box. Okay? So Mr. Cutshot himself, and I don't know if you want to pull up the announcement page of what he sent us, but as I go through and open this,
I'm going to link his website.
You know, as I want to make an announcement on the actual, and I have no idea what's in here, but this came from Cutshot himself. This looks like, what is this, Donnie?
Well, I'll tell you as soon as you open it.
So this is the Oreo cookie from Cutshot.
Cookie cutter.
Cookie cutter. Whoa.
Sick.
That is sick. And why is this important, Donnie? Think about this.
Yeah.
What does this mean? What is this?
That means that VIP access is open on the Cutshot website for the Comp 2 cookie cutter softball bat.
And it's a collectible item.
Yes.
Correct?
Correct.
And he's only selling 120 bats.
Correct.
So want to get on that site. Donnie just posted it in the chat. Get on there, guys. And you know what, Donnie? I'm gonna have a cookie.
Pretty good.
You know, it's going against my workout in the morning that I have to do. But you know what? I'll have to do an extra 10 push-ups for this.
Love it.
Not bad.
Thank you, Mike. We got to bring these guys on the show now. Oh, they're going to fall asleep.
Yeah, what? I wore my Hexx gear tonight for our show due to the Hexx team. As you know, Donnie, it was a player on the Hexx team for many years. So as we bring them on right now, let me remove that. V and Jimmy DeFalco are joining us tonight. So let's get them on the show. Here they are right here.
Jimmy.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Uncle Jimmy and Cousin Donnie Show. I know you guys are both first-timers to the show. So we appreciate both of you guys joining us tonight. And as you guys can see, I'm representing the Hexx gear for you guys. So I guess we'll start right out of the gate. I'll start with you, Jimmy. Give us a little background about yourself, when you got started in softball, and then kind of when you started coaching for Hexx, when you came aboard the squad, and kind of what your role is now on the team.
I've been around for probably a lot longer than people think. I've been around the game of softball for about 40 years. When I was 12, 13 years old, I started playing CYO for the Catholic Youth Organization, and then went away to college a little bit, played some ball there, and then I came home. My cousin at the time brought me out with the Gamblers, and that's kind of where I started. And then I went on 100 teams since then, from an Eagles team to Flash when in Forest Park. I was with Crush, a team called the Diamond Dogs. I was with How You Doing for a while, I think a year. What else? I ran my own team, the Base Bums. That was my solid team in my 20s, was the Base Bums. And then I brought it back, and we were kind of competitive. And a lot of those guys moved on, and they're doing well. And I was, the older guy on the team. So I was trying to teach them. And hopefully they learned some stuff. I played a lot of co-ed for when I worked at the Sun Times down in Grant Park, which was a great park to play at. Miss it. And I ended with Wallace for a year, their last year with Donnie.
Yep.
And then during that time, V and Richie were calling myself and our first baseman, Mike Greco now. And we were coming out a little bit. And I'm all in with the Hexx guys now, and I coach third, and I think I got a little input on some things, and we're excited about 2026. That's about it.
Very cool. V, over to you, my man. Give us a little background about yourself.
Oh, Leprechauns with V too. Forgot. Sorry, V.
Yep.
And somebody put slammers in the chat
can you
too.
get me?
Jimmy.
Oh yeah, Slammers.
I can block. This is my 34th year helping run a team, coaching team, managing. I've been around the game. I'm going to show my age, about 52 years, because started coming out 4 or 5 with my dad in good old Kelly Park back in the day. And I've been around. Let's see, Leprechauns were my team for a long time, like 10, 12 years. And I went to the Jinx, and my buddy Jimmy with me for a couple years. And then who else? Hype for 9 years, I think. Hype and me and Mr. Richie Battistoni are the original 2 Hexx guys left. Everybody else come, gone, left. Glad to have them. We're the only 2 guys left. And I don't know how long I got left, but I'm still kicking around and still love it. And my dad, my brothers brought me up through this game, and I've learned a lot. I stunk as a player, so I went into coaching, and I enjoy it tremendously.
Hey,
especially the after game live.
I know you're never afraid of looking at a Miller Lite. I know that. So, but either way,
no.
We appreciate both you guys on the show. My first question, Jimmy, I'm going to start with you. Obviously I was a part of the Hexx squad, so I know a lot of the guys that are still on the team from when I was there. But what is something that you're looking forward to in 26 that you could see from Hexx? What is the goal? What is Hexx's opportunity for this year? What are you looking like that 2026 is going to be like for Hexx?
We were close last year. We were close. We were closer than we've been. And I think, and if my guys are out there listening to this, I want them to hear it. We've been going to tournaments, and we've been 5, 6, 7, 8. That's where people are putting us every tournament, and it maybe became a culture. We're going to go into a tournament, and we're going to end somewhere around middle of the road. Even though we wanted to win, people were pegging us in these holes. And I think last year with the Sauce guys, they blended really well. I think a lot better than a lot of teams thought they would. The Dome last year, I wasn't there a lot. I was there for pitcher day. But I was watching these guys in the development, and it kind of went into the summer, and then we stubbed our toe a little bit, but we were close, and I think 2026, our culture is going to be, we're going to be going into these leagues and these tournaments, and we're looking at 1 to 3. I know every team's looking to win, the whole thing, but I'm talking about a culture and feeling it. And, Jim, you got to have it here. And, you could go through the motions, and it's a 7-inning, 1-hour game, and I just kind of wish that, they strap it up for that hour. That's all that matters. I'm an old school guy. You know how it was. There's no phones. There's no nothing. It was 7 innings, 1 hour, walk off the field dirty.
Yep.
So I hope, like I said, my guys are listening. Our guys are listening, and that's going to be the culture for Hexx this year, hopefully.
Nice. V, so what's your outlook for 2026?
We're on the come here, Jim. In my opinion, I think for the first time in a long time, I can honestly look at everyone and say, we're going to go on the field and we're going to have some depth and we're going to have some fun and we're going to enjoy playing. And what I mean by that is, in the past, sometimes you would look at Hexx and say, guys, there's this, there's that. We're always searching for the next thing, I guess you would say. We always had solid squad, but 8-9 solid. And that's not a rip on any of the other guys that in the past. People have things to do, families, whatever it is. But this year we're going to go at 13, 14 guys. And my expectation is closeness, groupness, however you want to put that, because I think we're, like Jimmy said, I echo what he says. We should be up there with the bigger teams. We're not far behind. I don't think we're going to be far behind this year, but I really think we're on the come this year with the guys we've got. I really think the depth and the attendance is really going to help us tremendously.
Yep.
Yeah.
Donnie, over to you.
Yeah, you guys added a couple really, really nice pieces to the team this year. Bino is a great pickup, great hitter. I mean, you've all seen, him hit the ball wherever the hell he wants with 2 strikes. He's incredible at hitting.
Right.
Sean Burke, you added another nice piece in the outfield who I got to see in the dome a little bit. He almost took Brian Sloan's head off in batting practice. So
another Miller Lite killer.
That big, what'd you say?
Another Miller Lite killer to go right with V.
Yeah, right. You need those on a team. Who is
Big
your guys is, go ahead, V. What were you gonna say?
His name, Big Nick. That's what we're going to call
Big
him.
Nick,
We have a
that's
Big Al and a Big or a Big Dummy Al.
There you go.
Nick. I love Al. Go ahead. I didn't mean.
You're all good. So who is kind of the new guy that you're excited to have on the team? And who do you think in the second year, because you did get some new guys last year too, who do you think in the second year is going to kind of transcend to be a huge role player? V, I'll start with you on this one.
Well, I don't know how good you guys know Nick, our short center, but for a guy that came, I don't played 6-inch. I know it hasn't been long, but tremendous fielder, good guy. Mate, he's still learning, and that's not a negative thing to be learning. He's come a long way, and he's helped tremendously, just solidifying our defense. As Jimmy would tell you, we're always kind of fielder. However, we did it. It always seemed that we were short an outfield, or an infielder, and he's helped solidify our offense, our defense quite a bit. Who I'm real excited about. I've known Bino since he's been playing, basically, and I think he's tremendous. Besides being a hitter, you say 2 strikes, I say any strikes, anytime, anywhere. There's not a spot you can't throw Bino in and go up there confidently. He makes our lineup longer. We can put him anywhere in it, and we know we're going to be the first inning, the second, whatever inning it is. He's going to walk up there. Our whole team's going to have more confidence than we ever had. In a guy that you can just say, hey, we picked this guy up. We've talked to him a few times, but every time I've seen that guy play, he's always getting a big head. He's always doing something to help the team. Plus, he's a good guy, great guy.
No, absolutely. So
good.
And
Jimmy, go ahead.
No, I was going to say this before we go to Jimmy DeFalco. Big Nick, I've got to see him now in the dome the last couple weeks that we've played in the dome. We've been playing on Friday nights late, and he pounds the ball hard. I don't know where you guys planning on putting him because you got, I think, 7 or 8 catcher EHs, but either way, you're gonna find a spot for him somewhere. So, but over to you, Jimmy.
I think new guy, probably Burke, and I'll just leadership. I was never a teammate of his. I was always on the opposite side of the diamond of him, and he was nice. He was always a nice guy, joking, laughing. And then I had a chance to be with him in last year nationals. Well, he gets that team riled up on his side of the diamond, and I think he's going to do that with our guys, and I think he's going to make people accountable, and I welcome that because you need player leadership as well as we can only say so much before someone says, guys, shut the fuck up, but player leadership is important, and I think he's going to bring that to our team. I really do. And second year player wise, I mean, the guys, the two guys speak for themselves. They were huge for us last year. They're going to be huge for us this year. Exactly what Kevin said about Nick, our short center. He's only going to be better. He's a handful defensively. And, there was rumor out there that he went 15 for 15 in some tournament. Well, I can't wait till he does that in the Hexx uniform. And Brian Sloan, he's calm, cool, and collective, as long as the sun's not out too hard. And he starts complaining about that a little bit. But winning cures everything, as we all know.
Yep.
So as long as he has his proper uniform on that he buys himself, we'll be all right.
He did buy his own uniforms last year because he didn't like the material on the Hexx one.
Yeah. But he's huge. He's huge for us. He really stepped up to the major game, more than anyone, maybe even what he thought. And, he built his confidence in the dome, and it went right into the regular season, and I'm proud of that, and I'm proud of him.
What about Al Rice? Al Rice lost, 40 pounds? I mean, obviously, Al is setting himself up to play right field all year because you do have 7 or 8 catcher EHs on the squad. Do you see Al playing a lot of outfield this year for the Hexx team? Is that with you, Jimmy?
Al's going to play
Al's
outfield
versatile.
and infield.
Yeah, he's versatile. He could play,
Oh, go ahead, V.
Go ahead, V.
Tell us what you think, V.
Al, well, I've known Al since he's basically come out of mommy and daddy. But Al is a good athlete as Al wants to, and I say that in the nicest way because Al, Jimmy knows Al better than anyone, probably, and Richie Batterstone. We're probably in all of softball. We're probably the 3 guys that know him the best. Al can do anything he wants. Al just got to want to do anything he wants, and he knows that. I talk to Al all the time.
Yeah,
Al's just got to want to be great sometimes, and that's not a rip on anyone.
Right.
Like I said, I would not say anything on here that I wouldn't say to Al fans, and I'll continue to be that way. But we're going to need Al in spots besides right field this year. And
do you know that Al Rice owns Donnie Rollins in the Dome? He is the Dome killer for Donnie Rollins.
Dude.
You know.
So Al probably hit 1,000 last year in the Dome with, let's say he had 12 at bats, 10 home runs in the Dome off me. He made one out, Jimmy, and it was a monster shot that hit the roof. So.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's funny. Jimmy, over to you, Jimmy. What I know before V rudely cut you off,
Yes.
What do you want to say about Al Rice with him losing weight? Are you planning on putting him in center field this year since he's lightning fast now?
Maybe not center, but definitely he'll be somewhere in infield. Definitely in right field. As Kevin said, when Al wants it, he can do whatever he wants out there. He's that kind of player. He's a special player. We got a lot of those special players. And when that starts to mix and gel, last year we were close,
Yep.
I think the guys know that, I keep saying that, but it's the truth.
Well, one guy that really stood out for me, even when I was there and even last year was Rob Scahill. I feel like Scahill is getting better year over year. I know a couple years ago he didn't have the greatest year offensively, but last year he really swung it well. I know that he's not like a young guy by any means, but he's young to the game of 16 in softball. And I feel like every single year, Scahill, not only is he the nicest human being on the squad, great dude to hang out with, but also just in general, I feel like he's
midget Jimmy.
Well, yeah, but Scahill would be the nicest guy on mostly any team in 16 in softball, right?
Yeah.
He is that like just professional. And obviously it shows why he played Major League Baseball. He brought that into what he does now with his kids and his coaching and all the stuff that he does. But also he carries it over to the 16 in softball field, which I think is, when you talk to Rob, he's one of my favorites, and he knows that. He comes with me every year to Iowa for Team Jagoff. We have a blast. It's just really, he's a really great dude. You know what I mean? So what do you see from him this year? I mean, what's his goal? I mean, last year he played third. 2 years ago he played short. Is he back to shortstop for Hexx this year? Or what is the Rob Scahill move for 2026? Because I feel like since I've been on the team and then left the team last year, he's been all over the place. 3 years ago he played third, and he went to short, then he went back to third. Is Kimmer going to be around next year to play short, or is Cahill going back to short? What's that outlook look like right now, DeFalco?
It's a good question. We got to see when we get all our guys together. You already heard us say that Al's going to be in right. He's going to be probably a little bit of third. Being an old school guy, I'll play 10 guys, in a big tournament. So, the hottest 10 sticks out there, that's all you got to do is catch the ball a couple times during the game, and you're off the hot seat, So, but who's hot that's who's playing. And Rob's we're lucky to have him. I mean, that. Anybody'd be lucky to have a caliber player like him. His pedigree is second to none, as you said. We're lucky to have him, and V loves him. So go ahead, V. What do you think?
Rob's a sponge. He wants to look. He obviously, as I said, great. You're not going to meet a better athlete in this game. If you are, he's going to be in the team photo of athletes. Plus, he wants to learn, and I love talking with Rob and hanging out with him and just bullshit him. He's like you guys saying, he's a joy to be around. And when it all clicks, he's not far. You're gonna see something special, because that's the type of, and you can't say enough about how he is as a teammate and as a person. And the people that know him is what you get. Rob doesn't change. He's not going to be the guy that you hear in the background. Something about this guy, something about that guy. Negative, bad, nothing. In fact, if he sees someone down, I saw Rob enough to sit there. Because that's the type of softball is, but as a baseball player and a professional.
Yep.
Yeah, he's an outstanding athlete. Jimmy, I will say, once you get him in Iowa with a glove, he's as good as anybody at shortstop that I've ever seen. He's unbelievable.
With a glove in Iowa, he is. I don't care. We put him at short. It don't matter.
He is unbelievable at shortstop for us. Yeah. He's also
when he first
probably the smartest guy on the field.
Say it, Donnie.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
All good. I was just saying he's also the smartest person on the field most of the time with his, coaching background and high-level baseball background, things like that. It usually sometimes doesn't, transpire over to the other game, but in his situation, he retains a ton of information. He's super smart, and he's a guy that anybody would take on their team. I would take Rob in a heartbeat. He is a very, very good athlete. Next question for you guys. You both have kind of been in the game a long, long time. I kind of ask this to everybody that comes on the show, but you guys, have been on a lot of different teams than people that we have on the show. I'll start with you, Jimmy, for this one. Who's somebody that that you never got a chance to play with when you were coming through, or never got a chance to coach that you always wanted to and maybe still want to now?
You know, I played with a lot of great ball players.
Yeah.
On the major level for a while. I was a better A-ball player. I was a role player major. You got to be humbled in this game a little bit and know your role. That's what I was in the major level. But I used to watch some of those old 45 teams and, burgers from my neighborhood. And we've known each other for, being in the neighborhood, and we always goof around a little bit here and there. But I'll tell you, he's one guy I never was on the same side of the diamond with. I wish I was, just to see some of the special things that he was doing day in and day out, on that diamond. So I would say him.
It's a good answer. V, what about you?
V's on the.
What about me, my buddy? And I'm not just saying this because my buddy, but I would say John. Come on. He every time I played against him, I wanted to kill him, and he was one of my best friends. Hard-nosed player, great hitter, and you always wanted to have him around on your side.
Yeah. No, John. I was fortunate to play with John 1 year, I believe, with the Flash, and he's one of a kind. I'll tell you that, man. He's absolutely crazy. So, but yeah, John is definitely a hard-nosed player. Always played the game hard as it gets. So, no, that's a great answer because, as he would call me, the devil from the Vegas bombs and all the bombs we used to do together.
He never said no.
No, he never did. That's why I loved him so much.
No, that's
V, I noticed you didn't say your own son that you haven't played with yet. Do you plan on moving Zach up through the ranks and moving him to Hexx eventually, or what's the plan there?
I would love for Zach to play with us, and on my team and on my friends too are on this channel with you. Zach is another person that Zach wants to play, and if he wants to do good, it's up to Zach. So sure. He has in him. Again, I don't say that in the bad. So we just got to kick him in the asshole. Love that. Do a lot of things if he wants to. Thank you for asking.
Oh, God. I love it. I love it. So we talked about the goals. We talked about some of the players. There's one player that I have left, and I'm sure he's sitting at the edge of his chair right now, waiting to hear his name called. And that's my boy, Kurt.
Curdy.
I brought Kurt to the team a couple years ago, 3-4 years ago, not only because he's hard-nosed, he's a maniac on the field, which we love about him the best, right? The energy, but he plays every play like it's his last. And that's, I think, the best thing about Kurt. I know Kurt last year started off the year thinking he was Babe Ruth, hitting home runs all over the place. And I think as the year went on, he kind of went back to, more of the doubles and singles because he got tired of running around the bases. So do we see Babe Ruth, our boy Kurt, this year, hitting home runs and running all over the place like he did last year for the first quarter of the year? What do you guys think of Kurt? Just give me a little background on start with you, Jimmy, and then we'll go to V with Kurt.
Kurt. I hated playing against him. We had a lot of battles when I was with the Base Bums, and he was still with Smack Up before you brought him to Hexx. I hate seeing him, and I know people hate seeing him when he gets up there. He's either going to beat you deep or he's going to put something in a gap and he's going to run his brains out. So that's not going to change. He's going to continue to be a veteran on our club and get everybody hyped up. I just don't want Kurt to get down on himself as he tends to do. And then he makes a big play and picks himself right back up. But, he goes through a couple chairs, I think, throughout the course of the season, hitting them with those bats. But they always say Kurt's the straw. Not to quote anyone here, but
Oh, I have a special guest appearance for you gentlemen, by the way.
Yeah.
You might know him.
Whoa! Look at that.
Man,
Look
is
at
that one ugly dude.
Look at that.
Good thing it's winter.
The third best looking pitcher on Hexx.
On the
Good
stream.
point.
And not to mention, Jimmy, once you left, I've actually heard by unanimous decision the best looking and most athletic pitcher went to Hexx.
Yeah.
Joey
was that?
Carbs.
Joey
Carbs.
Joey Carbs. Oh man, I heard that Richie wasn't going to be on the show tonight, so I had to get another representative, a player from Hexx, and what a better representative than Mr. Brian Sloan.
Nice. I love it. So, Donnie, go ahead with your next question while we got Sloan on the page.
Yeah, they were talking about Kurt a little bit. Brian, I know that you're a big fan of Kurt. Brian, let me ask you a question. As a pitcher, when you move Kurt around in the outfield, how many steps does he take in the direction that you move him, if he moves at all?
None.
Yeah, he doesn't. And why is that?
Because I leave that to Richie.
You leave it to Richie to move him around?
Yeah, Kurt doesn't really listen to me. Only person he listens to on the field, I feel like, is Richie or Kurt.
Fair. Or Kurt, yeah. Or Kurt. Yeah. All right. Well, they both said really nice things about you, Brian, both coaches. So, a big year for you coming up. I know you were one of 2 All-Stars from Hexx selected to the team, you and Mr. Kurt. So that was a pretty big moment for you coming over from Sauce and being a great part of the team. What is your outlook for 2026? What's a goal for yours as you guys move into the year? How many EHs did you guys pick up, and how excited are you to have all of them?
I was just gonna say, Sloan, move the camera down so I can see that hairline, my man. There we go.
You like that?
There we go.
Brian, just zoom out a little. Back up.
I don't even know how to zoom out. How do you zoom out on this thing?
Just back the phone.
Got to teach these touch guys how to work the phone.
I feel like I'm V over here.
Got you by 30 years, so.
I feel like Hexx has a lot of potential this year. I feel like we can do some big things. I would say the goal is getting our first tournament W. If North South didn't get rained out, I felt like we had a lot of momentum carrying in. So I was pretty bummed about that. But I think with some big pickups, I think than before, Jimmy with Burke is a big one. I didn't even know Burke, and he's been great. I don't know Bino, but I'm very excited to grab him. And Nick has been another great pickup. And the guy, he hammers the ball, so I'm excited to see him on the field as well for the squad.
Nice.
Jimmy, what do you have for Mr. Sloan?
Oh, for Mr. Sloan, where do I start? Holy cow.
Oh, boy.
So, Mr. Sloan, since you've been on Hexx, I know you'll never be the best looking pitcher ever on Hexx, but you're a close second. How was last year? Because I know Jimmy talked a little bit about it, going from Sauce, where you kind of played most of the A teams throughout the year. You guys were in the A League and stuff, and then you jumped to the major. You had an incredible year. I think the Dome gave you a lot of confidence from what I can see. I know I came out and played with you guys one of the games in the Dome last year, it was beginning of last year. And I just saw the confidence from you guys in regards to, and you carried it right over to the year. So tell me a little bit about how what was the difference between the A and the major level when it came to you? Because I think early on you were a little nervous, and then you see yourself settle in a little bit more, because it is always nerve-wracking going to a new team. So tell me a little bit about what you felt like last year, and then kind of how you feel now. I'm sure it's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I would say is obviously anyone going to a brand new team and being a new face, it's always a little nerve-wracking. And then I was brought in there to pitch. Everyone knew I could pitch. I didn't really think anyone knew I could hit the ball and actually get on base. I felt like I exceeded some expectations there as far as actually being able to get on base. But for me, having having Jimmy, having Richie was the best thing in the world, because running sauce for the last 6 years, and having to do everything, right? I had to pitch, I had to make the lineup, I had to make the in-game changes because I didn't have a coach. I didn't have
Yeah.
anyone to lean on, so I got to just play softball. So as soon as I got to realize that, like, I don't have to do any of that stuff, I don't have to run a square pool, I don't have to go get jerseys, or, so-and-so bailed at last minute. What do I do
Oh.
now?
You
I
got
got
your
to
own
just,
jersey.
I got to do my own thing. Well, I got my own jersey still. But I got to rely on V and Jimmy to kind of just tell me what to do and show up. And once I was able to do that, I felt like I was really able to thrive and lean on those guys.
That's a good point. I mean, and not only that, but Richie, Jimmy, V, they're always good guys to have in your corner. They take a different perspective too, from running a team over to what they have to do on their end. So you obviously respect what they're doing, which makes it that much easier for yourself to play. So I'm happy it all worked out. I'm very happy. I know I was a sponsor of the Hexx squad last year, as many of you guys know. So it was not a lot of times when you leave a team, it's like, oh yeah, no, I was rooting for you guys, of course, when we weren't playing for you. So as we always do. But Donnie, go to your next question, Donnie, if you have any for these guys.
No, I kind of asked him a lot of things, and I'm happy that Brian was able to jump on in lieu of Mr. Battistoni. But I'll ask maybe one more thing. With some of the new guys and things like that. Who do you hate? Who have you hated to see go from the Hexx team in the last few years? Because in retrospect, Hexx has had a lot of turnover in the last 5 years. I feel like they've had a lot of different players come through that team. Who is somebody that V? I'll start with you for this one. Who's somebody that you've hated to see go from the Hexx team in the last few years?
Well, even though I don't like Jimmy too much, he's one of them. Brandon Gussage was a big part of our team, half of our Hexx life. Great guy. He was a guy we all like to have around, and he put a little pep in our step. Brandon B was always into things, and what I mean by that, he was into the game. Wow, he might try to hit a homer every time up and didn't succeed, but he didn't take that out to the field. With them always in the field, hustle. Great guy, great teammate. He'd be one of the main ones, and a guy maybe not a lot of guys don't know about, but in the last, this has been about 5 years, was a guy named Trace Rufy. He played with us. He was a big part of our team the first half of our Hexx life, and he was great. When he left for a couple of years. Those would probably be the two guys I missed the most and wish we still had around.
Yeah, good answer. Jimmy, who do you got?
Not a lot of guys. I guess some guys has left. My attitude is, obviously Jimbo's one of them. We had a good couple of years there. We had some fun. We never played together, being from the same neighborhood, always against each other. So that was kind of cool to get that perspective. But my attitude is, once you're gone, you're gone. You don't want to be there. Good luck somewhere else. So, that's just a different approach for it. I don't miss too many people. I got to give too much love to the people that we got and pay attention to them. And I can't focus on that. So that's just my attitude on that. Sorry.
It's a good answer. Yeah.
No, it's a very good answer.
Nothing to be sorry about.
Great question, dude.
Thank you.
I got one too as well. I don't know if you've heard the name Mike Chillo. I don't know who he is, but he said he was into about 6 games. He never showed up. Don't know him, but I'm sad to see him go.
What about Smokey? Is Smokey still on the team?
He was always there if you read the messages, Bri.
I don't know.
He said he was in.
You never know where Smokey pops up.
Fair enough.
I could say a lot of things about Smoke. I'm just going to hold my tongue right now. That's my roommate. That's all I'm going to say. My roommate, Smoke Dog.
Smoke Dog.
So
Jimmy, go ahead with
But,
your last question if you got anything else.
that's what I'm going to get to right now. So the last question we ask every guest, and Jimmy, I'm going to, matter of fact, V, I'll start with you since we started with Jimmy last question. The question we ask every guest on the show is what is something in softball currently today that either you would bring to the game or change in the game to make the game better? What would it be? The first thing off the top of your head to make 16-inch softball better.
My first thing is, besides the lack of teams we have now, we got to get something get more enthusiasm about this game for people to watch, people to want to play. And I know everyone will say this is one way, let's run a tournament this way, let's do it that way. I always thought, and I'm a big believer, we used to do this back, it's been 15, 20 years, but you would have Super League. And what I mean by that is Forest Park, Melrose Park. We had Hodgkins, we had Westchester. Put them all together. Super League, get all these teams to play each other. Guys, I'll win 45 guys. I sure in the heck get sick of playing them 8, 10, 12 times a year. And that doesn't help the game enough. It helps us to get better because we're playing against the best competition. Don't get me wrong. But a Super League, I think, would be great for the game, get everyone involved. We'd have to find out a way to balance it so the lower teams can develop and would want to play us more instead of just the tournaments. But I think a Super League would be a great thing for softball these days.
Okay. What about you, Jimmy? I'm sure you heard the question. What about you?
Yeah. I hear the question every week you guys are on. And I love everybody's answers, I agree with a lot of it because I don't know where this game's going to be in 10 years. And, it's in a delicate spot right now, I think. You got a team that's only playing tournaments. Hey, that's their prerogative. But, that loses a team in our leagues. How about if more teams start going to that? Maybe we have more tournaments. I don't know what the answer there is. Those waters are real muddy. All I would change is I would ask the young guys that are coming up, and some of you guys heard me say before, play for the guy next to you, play hard. Don't make excuses. You hit the ball 300 feet and you say you just missed it. I mean, how many times have you heard that? Stop with all the excuses, play for the guy next to you. Don't be selfish, be accountable. And I think maybe some fans will see better softball then. And then maybe if we start seeing better softball, we'll get more people interested in it. And then maybe we could leave the game in a better place that we came into it. I know our generation tried to do that, and I thought we did that. And it's not in a great place. It's pretty volatile right now, I think. And it hurts because one thing I'll leave with these younger guys is, one day you're not lacing them up to go run out between the lines. You're lacing them up to stay on the other side of the lines. And that's not a great feeling. Not for a competitive person. So just remember that, and it goes in the blink of an eye. I started off saying I've been around this game for 40 years. Jim, your time's coming, sooner than later, whether it's, age or kids or family or jobs, but it's coming, and you're going to feel it. So don't waste every minute, every pitch, every inning that you're out there. So I would say that's my approach to making softball better.
That's a great approach. That's actually, Jimmy, if I could kind of harp on that, that's like the first time someone has said, appreciate what is currently going on more than let's make a change to the game.
Yeah.
So that's a great perspective on that. Brian, what do you think about that question?
I mean, I've listened to enough of the shows, and there's I think the biggest one, and now having a young family, obviously, like ending on a Saturday, figuring out how to end on a Saturday. It kills me when I see, we go out there Thursday and Friday and there's 2 empty fields and it's like 7:00 and I'm like, why are these empty right now? We could be getting more games in to end on a Saturday rather than on a Sunday. And now that I'm with Hexx, I got to actually make some Sundays, unlike Sauce. So I got to see what the Sunday crowd looks like, and I have to admit Saturdays are better. So figuring out a way to end on a Saturday. But for league play, I've been thinking about it. I don't think I've heard this answer. Maybe someone said it, but if there was some way to keep like consistent stats throughout the like all the leagues, maybe that would drive some more attendance because people might not want to miss. If there was some type of overall, I know there's like tournament MVPs and things like that, but maybe if there was something amongst all the leagues that you were the the top average amongst all leagues, and they kept that consistent throughout like 3 or 4 leagues, and then having like an all tournament team or picking two of all the different league players, picking it and making an all-star game amongst 4 leagues or something based off the stats. That way maybe it drives and it's people not miss league games because you have to have a certain amount of games to be involved in during the league play to even be qualified to make it or something. I don't know. I was trying to figure out how to. It's the worst when we go to league play and then half the guys are missing, so it's just kind of a bummer. And I noticed now playing major ball this year that after Forest Park, I saw the attendance really plummet. So
Yeah, no, there's that's a good point. I mean, there was about 2 or 3 possibly years ago that we had mentioned. There's me and a handful of guys. We had mentioned switching Forest Park tournament to Labor Day weekend, the Glove National to where Forest Park is now, just because of the way softball is. And I understand that change is not something this game likes when every other sport in America is changing constantly. And I understand we're not professionals, but a lot of times we look at this game, we put a lot of time into this game, we have a lot of fun with this game. And let's face it, I mean, with this level, it is almost like you are a pro softball player, even though you're not getting paid. You're playing at the top level. And I know it's recreational, but change is a good thing. And I think some people have to sit there and really look in the mirror and say, we need change. Change is not always bad. Okay. It's also a good thing. And I think, when you look at that from your point, Brian, stats and a lot of things that go on now today in travel baseball with Game Changer, there is no reason why every single game that we play in cannot be on Game Changer. So when we play our tournament, the tournament that Donnie and I is running, every single game will be videoed and every single game will be on Game Changer. We are going to be asking, somebody from the team, unfortunately, to put their phone on the fence or whatever it is, right? We're going to have the clips. And there's going to be somebody working Game Changer. I just think that's just the way it is nowadays. I mean, as we want to grow the game, the kids that are 17U, 16U, 18U nowadays, what are they used to doing? They're used to doing Game Changer. It's at every tournament in America across the country. So why would we make it any different, right? Unfortunately, we have to adapt with those. I know Gio has tried to do the summer series or whatever he's calling it, the Geo teams and whatever. That's cool, right? I mean, that's something different for the game, and so there's no reason why what you mentioned, the 2-day tournaments. Yes, that's exactly what we talk about all the time. So I just think your point is spot on. And it's not that hard. It's really not. If you think about it, there's no reason why V, instead of doing a scorebook, could do a Game Changer on his phone. It's the same fucking thing. You know what I mean? Same thing. So there's no different. And then to your point, now you have all the stats for your whole team every game. Not that people care about stats so much, but to your point,
some people do.
But like you said, the up and coming, like to grow the game, like that's what they're used to. So like that's I feel like it's gonna keep the younger crowd. That's how you get them to just carry right over because that's what they're used to. If they join over, like, oh, this is cool. This is what I know.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I mean, I know us, DeFalco and V. I mean, us growing up, no one really ever cared about that stuff. It just wasn't a part of our nature. But we never had it. You know what I mean? We never had that technology. So nowadays it's different. There's change. So, I mean, if you look at 16 in softball in the last 5 years, other than the SSA starting, what is the difference between the SSA and the ASA from the standpoint of tournaments. We don't play single elimination anymore on weekends. That's the only thing that's different, if you really think about it. When we used to play all those single elimination qualifiers back in the day as ASA, since ASA has been gone, what is the difference and change for the tournaments? They're all 4 days. There's 5 major. What has changed? Entry fees are lower. I mean, I don't know what has changed with the game. The game itself, less teams. I know that. So that's a great point. Good point, Brian. Donnie, this is the part of the show we always ask our guests. Any questions for Cousin Donnie and myself? Jimmy DeFalco, I'm going to start with you. Is there any questions for Donnie and I before we get into our top 20 catchers in the H's tonight?
Oh, let me think. Let me see. I got a couple things written down. I would say softball or non-softball.
Whatever you want, buddy.
No, I'm saying this could either be softball or non-softball. Who's your dream guest, and what's the one question you would ask them?
That's a great question.
Oh, Donnie, I'm going to go to you first.
My dream guest. Softball or non-softball? I'm going to say non-softball because we could probably get anybody softball that's alive. Oh, except for maybe one guy. Man. Maybe like, man, I don't, that's a good question. Like Tupac would be crazy to ask how he died. Who got shot? Like who shot you, you know? And to get some sort of major conspiracy settled, I would have a dead celebrity or something on here.
Okay.
Interesting. You went a totally different route I would go.
What would you say?
So I got 2 guys. And I'm going to give you one non-softball, one softball. Okay? My non-softball would be Michael Jordan. The reason why I would say Michael Jordan is because Michael Jordan used to play 16-inch in the celebrity games back in Grant Park.
So it is softball.
So, but technically he's not softball, right? He didn't play 16-inch regularly. But I'd like to have Michael Jordan on the show because I think he would be very difficult. He's very difficult to get on a show, period, right?
Sure.
But at the same time, I would love to hear his professionalism. I would love to hear what he'd have to say about the game of 16 softball, what he knows, and then also about the city of Chicago, you know, with all the stories that we heard from Steve Cashel, some of the stories that unfortunately, I've been, you know, I've got to know Scottie Pippen from going to some of the Bulls games and sitting in skyboxes and having conversations with Scottie. You know, I would like to have Jordan on to hear, you know, so a lot of his conversations of what he thinks of the city of Chicago and kind of just those years in the run that they had through the city of Chicago would be very interesting to me. I know they used to play cards at the living room on Sunday nights. I was an 18, 19-year-old kid sneaking in there back in the day. But outside of that, I don't really know much more about him. And he's such a staple and a legend in this city. It'd be awesome to have him as a guest. My softball person, Donnie, you and I have asked him before to come on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We would probably break internet records.
It would be the most viewed show in softball history. 12-inch, 16-inch, fast pitch, slow pitch ever.
Because all of the 12-inch guys would 100%
Yeah.
view it to watch that. Okay. And that would be Gio.
Yeah.
I think we can squash the hatchet right on our show, Donnie, across all the wavelengths, everywhere. It would be the most viewed softball show ever. We might even surpass Bird's 1.1 million views that he gets for swinging a softball bat.
We'd be like Joe Rogan that week. We would have a huge audience.
Joe Rogan. That's great. V, any questions? By the way, Jimmy DeFalco, that is a great question. Thank you, sir. Jimmy, V, what do you got for us?
Who's winning the big dance? That's my non-softball one.
Okay, good question. Who do you got winning the big dance, Donnie?
Arizona's good. Are you talking about?
Pick one that's not.
Okay. You want me to say Alabama? Because I'm not going to say Alabama. Probably.
All right. That's too obvious. That'd be my answer. Come on.
How about Florida? I think Florida might do it.
I'm with you. I love it. Repeat. I'm with you,
Yeah.
Donnie.
I've got two teams. I've also had Florida, which I told you V last week, but my second team is Michigan. I think Michigan's a team that can do it. I think that I think their guard play, their bigs, the whole team across the board, they went through that little slump that they had for like a couple games, and now they bounce back. They blow out Illinois, a good Illinois team, and I can see them making a run here in the Big Ten tournament and probably winning the Big Ten tournament, going right into the NCAA tournament. So Michigan, Florida for me, and then V, I have to throw this out there, and I text you. We were going back and forth the other day. Alabama's guards are the best in the nation. Watch out for Alabama. I know Alabama guard play in the NCAA tournament is huge.
I argue.
Yep, guard play is huge in the NCAA tournament. So,
Brian, who do you have?
Duke.
Okay, fair. I like that pick.
Oh man.
All right, V, do you have a softball question for us? Is there anything that comes to mind that you'd like to know from Cousin Donnie or Uncle Jimmy here?
Yes. Will Tommy Balick make a triumphant return this year?
I will say no. Donnie? You don't even know who Tommy Balick is.
I know Tommy Balick. I don't see him ever. I haven't seen him in, I feel like, a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's kick it over to our last guest for a question, Jim.
All right.
Make it a quick one for you guys. If you can't pick your own team, but current team, what team would you play for if it wasn't your current team? Who would it be? It could be A or major team.
Ooh. That's a good question.
What other current team would I play for?
And it can't be your own team.
Donnie, you can't pick signature everything this time.
I want to. Jimmy, you go first this time.
Well, I don't think it would be right for me to pick Hexx just because I played for Hexx for 4 years. But
Cease and desist.
Yeah, if I wasn't, Season Desist would be a very good team, but that's not a real team. I know where Sloan's going with this. I probably would pick it. I would probably pick a team like Impact.
Jimpact.
I would pick a team that I think is on the rise or a team that's coming up. I wouldn't pick a team that's already been there. Just because, like it's just the way it is, you know what I mean? I just think Impact or a team like Iron, one of those teams would be a fun team to jump on. Just kind of hang around some younger guys and kind of teach the way. But go ahead, Donnie.
Man, I think Impact's a good answer because I really like Cody a lot. Cody's a great dude.
Yeah.
Man, I don't. It's a good question, Brian. Maybe Sauce 2 years ago.
You got to pick a current team.
Okay, all right.
You'd have to play first.
That's fine. Man, that's a good question. Currently, what I play for if it wasn't signature? I feel like I would grow and learn a lot underneath Jibbs as a pitcher. I think if I had a full year with Jibbs, him teaching me some stuff and being able to pick his brain about pitching, I would get better. So maybe Flash. I know that's kind of a cop-out answer as another top team, but I would definitely appreciate learning from him and Bobby Russ. I think those two are great.
Yep. Good answer. So you guys, if you like, can stay on, or you can get off. Donnie and I are going to go through our top 20 catcher and EH positions. We did 20 of them because obviously it's two positions. These guys can play either or. So if you guys like to stay on, you're more than welcome to. If you want to hop off, you're more than welcome to hop off as well. V, I know you got to get up early, so I'm leaving it out.
Bye, Brian.
I got to go work on my hairline. Try to get like Jimmy and Donnie.
Goodbye, V.
So,
Hey, guys.
all right. DeFalco, you're going to stay on?
Yeah, I like camera time.
You're good at it. You've been a great guest, Jim.
Yeah. Let's get him off, Sloan.
Yeah, I got you.
She's gone. Let's move him to the middle. All right. So, here we go. Donnie,
I like camera time.
that's my guy, DeFalco. He's B-Town, dude. We represent. That's how we
You know what?
Early,
Jimbo?
guys?
You know what, Jimbo? Maybe it was the second show or first show, second, third show. We were in Melrose Park in lawn chairs, and I was filming you, and it was like you were doing this show. It's come a long way.
It has, my man. And back then we kind of were having a lot of fun with it, which we still are having a lot of fun with it now. But yes, it's come a long way from sponsors to everything else that we have going on, which is crazy. So, and by the way, Donnie, but it's good point of the show to thank our sponsors: Signature Transportation Group, the Beacon Tap, Cut Shot. We thank all them for obviously sponsoring our show, doing what they do to help us with the cost. I mean, there's some things that do cost to run this show with. Obviously, the program that we're on, the mics that we've kind of ordered for the summer, some of the things that we have to do. So we definitely thank them, and we appreciate them very much. But, Donnie, why don't you start with number 20 on the list?
It's kind of a tough list to rank. There's so many good hitters in this game, and like 6 of these guys are on Hexx, which is funny. So the first guy is kind of like an honorable mention for me because he's probably the only guy on this list that's not technically on a major team. And he could be a top hitter on any major team. But I think he chooses to participate in the Papa Hops tournament and play with some of his friends in Kennedy and the A-Leagues and things like that. But that's a Stretch.
Okay.
Because he can hit with anybody. I mean, Stretch hits the ball 500 feet. He can cut it, flip it, whatever he wants to do. But doesn't play on a major squad right now. So I think that's kind of why he lives in that honorable mention category for us.
Okay. I do not have an honorable mention tonight.
Okay.
I was able to squeeze. I do have 2 number ones because I couldn't pick from either or.
Okay.
But I do. So technically I have 21 guys on my list. But my number 20 is my boy Popcorn.
Yeah.
And that's because Popcorn hit the home run off me at the tournament to right center that we were playing him 170 feet. And he pounded right center because no one on our team knew that he could hit the ball that far. So
For a homer.
Popcorn, I'm throwing out props to my boy Popcorn. And I do have your batting glove in my cars, just so you know.
Jimmy, pop quiz. Do you know Popcorn's real name?
I do not.
That's funny. Moving on. Matt Manizzi wants to know why they call him Stretch.
It's something I cannot share on the air.
Is it because he's 6'10"?
Well, of course. Yes.
Cool.
We'll go with that.
Okay.
What happened to our boy DeFalco? Where'd he go?
He just dipped. Maybe his phone died.
Oh, okay.
Jimmy, go ahead. Give me a couple in a row because I think we have a very, very similar list. I'm very curious as to where you rank these guys.
Okay, so number 19 for me is your boy Matt Manizzi from Signature. Okay. I have him at 19. The reason why I have him at 19 is because I feel there's been years where I feel like offensively he tries to go right center, right side so much where I feel like when he tries to pull the ball, he's a much better hitter. But he's also a guy that can play first now. I've seen him play right field. So I know we have the utility category on our next show and what we're going to be doing for that, but
Yeah.
he does. I do see Matt catch. I do see him EH a lot, and I feel like this year going into your team, he might have some more of that role. And he's a guy that he has some power. He can still run. So he's a guy that I think is a very valuable catcher EH. And in my opinion, I look at catcher EH as a little bit different. You want a catcher EH that maybe can go play a position or two if needed. So he's not necessarily just a catcher EH, but yeah, I have him at 19, and I think he does have a lot of different balls in his arsenal. I just think he needs to pick one ball and try to stick with that ball, if that makes sense.
Matt, I will say Matt is super valuable as a catcher in the game, though. I know it's kind of a silly thing to think about because it's slow pitch and what is a catcher, doing from pitch to pitch, but he is very vocal. And he is very communicative with our outfielders and infielders, moving players around when he sees something from the batter in the box. And I think that is very, very valuable. And Matt's, is as good as hands as you're going to find behind the plate. A lot of guys that catch or EH are just there to hit and don't have the best hands behind the plate. Matt's kind of setting the standard for that. So, although I definitely see, but Matty for me is he's just really, really solid behind the plate and kind of what you want as a catcher in slow pitch softball.
Sure. You want me to go with 18?
Yeah, keep going.
So number 18 for me is Frank Simon. Frank, I feel Frank has big power. Probably a couple years ago, he was pounding right center, pounding left center. You pretty much couldn't get the dude out. I know he's been the Whale team. I believe that Frank, he is a guy that can still pound those gaps and hit those balls. I don't know if he's still doing it as consistently as he was maybe a handful of years ago, but definitely a guy that's still got the same ability to do those things. I know he took some time away from the game, and now he's starting to come back and be a little bit more committed. He's also a great human being. I like talking to him at the field.
Good dude.
Really good dude. I don't know what he does in his personal life, but I'm just talking about at the field himself. Just a really good guy, a lot of fun to talk to. And I got to play with him in a couple tournaments, was a very good teammate there as well. So Frank Simon at number 18 for me.
Good. Yeah, I agree. He's an awesome guy. He watches our show a lot too. So I appreciate him chiming in on the comments. Number 18 for me, I got your boy, Matt Petkus, AKA Skittles. He's kind of coming into his own at the major level a little bit over the last few years with Fat Kids. He was a menace guy, kind of played bounced around a little bit, was a lose one guy before. Great power, and he will find the middle of the infield a lot of times when he's down to 2 strikes. So Petkus is a really nice hitter. He just only EHs, though. I don't see him really play many positions. I know that he's played third a little bit. Look at that. Frank Simon says, I hit better than Jackson last year. Put it that. That's funny because Jackson's a beast too. But I'll put Matty Petkus there as he does crack the top 20 hitters for sure.
Yep. Number 17 for me is Tony Lepore. Tony
beast
was a guy on Flash that caught EH, played a little bit of positions. Once again, is another guy that can go play a position if needed. But Tony, I feel like lefty, stick, can drive the ball, can do a lot of things offensively, and he's not that slow. He's not.
Yeah, he runs well.
He still runs pretty well. And I just like his ability to really, and he swings hard every single time, and I really like that out of my catcher EH. Someone who could really drive the ball or do something a little bit different, right? There are some single guys on my catcher EH list today, but from this aspect of what his game brings, Tony can still drive a right center gap if needed.
Yeah. Tony's a really, really nice hitter, man. He's tough to get out as a left-handed hitter. He can still run really well, and he's got some pop too. He can go. Yeah. The next guy I had down my list was a guy, Nick Burt, who's now an impact guy. The reason he's so towards the top 20 is because he ghosted me at Indian Road. He told me he was going to come play for my team and then ghosted me 5 minutes before the game. So that's why
you're holding a personal grudge against him.
Yes.
In the top 20 catcher EHs because he ghosted you at the field.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. No call, no show.
No call, no show. So he's not a fan of Cousin Donnie.
We have a great relationship. Needed
Have
him.
you
We had 9 guys on the field, and he was my 10th guy. He didn't show.
Have you? Uncle Jimmy didn't not get a single call to show up.
Indian Road's really far from you, Jim, and it was a last second thing. So that's why yes.
I would not have come anyways. So
Yeah, I figured. Yeah.
okay. But okay, Nick. Well, I'll have to have Nick on the show to hear why he ghosted you.
If I can put him at 21, I would.
Okay. All right. Makes sense. Number 16 for me is my boy Travis from High Y.
Okay.
So I have him. I still think he's got big time power. I still see him hitting the ball deep. I don't know if consistently he's hitting it, but I tend to always see him when he hits a ball 300 feet to right center and he's running around the bases and the High Y guys are jumping all over the place, right? So, in my opinion, I know a lot of people say, that he maybe doesn't have that big power swing as much anymore, but I don't know. Every time I see the guy, he pounds the ball. So hits the ball hard. Maybe he's not hitting for average or what, but in my opinion, he's still a very dangerous hitter when he's up there, and his power to me is a little bit different than some others that play the position. So, and he can still run pretty decently. So,
yeah, when he runs, sometimes he doesn't run, and that's the only thing that hangs Travis up. I would agree with where he's at on your list.
Yep. So number 16 for me with Travis.
Okay, go ahead. Give me a couple more.
All right. Number 15 for me is my boy Speed Limit. So Speed Limit is Skittles, Matt Peckus. Speed Limit now comes in at 15 for me. The reason why he comes in at 15, and I feel the last couple years, he has really developed a ball that he can go to. Okay. Early on in his career, I felt like he was just kind of trying to hit the ball as far as he wanted to, or trying to hit as far as possible. And it didn't really accumulate to a lot of hits. In the last couple of years, I feel like he's kind of come into his own a little bit. He hits the ball hard. He hits it down. He hits line drives now. He does have a different approach to what he does. Okay. So Skittles for me, as I call it, AKA Speed Limit. He comes in at number 15.
Okay.
And he's also a guy, if God forbid need be, I wouldn't say he's incredible defensively, but you could probably stick him at first base or third base for a game if needed.
Right. Yeah. So who's 14?
Number 14 for me is our boy Nick, and that's Nick Burke from Impact, the guy who ghosted you.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know, but I actually like him more. I might put him up number 1 now.
Yeah, right.
They move his ass up. My new favorite player in the game. Nick, I would hope that you're listening out there, and if you are listening, I want you to come on the show next week, and I want to settle this issue of why you ghosted Donnie.
Done. Bring him on. We have Impact.
Yeah, we have Impact next week, so I want to hear why you ghosted him. I would love to hear the story.
Thank you.
So
I would love that.
That'd be incredible.
Let's finally use this platform for good.
Yeah. This platform does a lot of good, especially with our haircuts, dude. Nice hair, Donnie. You stepped your game up, dude. I'm very impressed.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Number 13 for me.
Go ahead.
Mark Holstein.
Okay.
I think Mark is a guy that obviously was the best probably power hitter in 16 in softball, if not history, right? Incredible hitter. Obviously, as he's aged a little bit, his power is not necessarily still there where he can bomb the ball 300 feet. But Mark is such a smart hitter. He's such a good hitter that if he's showing up and he's getting consistent swings and his legs feel good, he's still in my opinion, he's still a top 5 hitter.
Absolutely.
Okay, on the list. I put him lower because I just don't know his commitment. He's older, his kids. He's got other stuff. He's won everything a million times. I just don't know how much it means to him anymore. I love partying with him on the boat up in Fox Lake. It's something that we do every year, 4th of July week. We have an absolute blast doing it. As you know, Donnie, we go live on our show sometimes from the water, which is an incredible thing. But Mark Holstein at number 13 for me, and he's also on the Hexx squad.
Yeah, they've got a bunch of really good EHs on the squad.
Yep.
Mark is also a guy, if you don't know him, you're probably intimidated because he's massive and muscles everywhere. Mark is also a guy to lend a helping hand if you need some advice with hitting or playing. He's one of the best minds to talk to about softball.
Yeah.
Just that. So a guy that you can ask about anything. I have a number 12, Jim. I have Chris Lentine as Chris, as a guy who just kind of strictly EHs catches now. I know in the past he's played some outfield, can play out there in a pinch, but Chris, maybe just not some of the biggest power out of these guys on this list in terms of EHs and catchers, guys that possess home run power. Chris runs as well as anybody on this list. But when you fear EHs and catchers, I would say Chris is perfectly right in the middle of guys that, that I face all the time. And he's a tough out. Don't get me wrong. He's a great hitter. Chris is a really, really solid piece for you guys in your team.
Yep. No, I would second that 100%. So my number 12 is Matt Scott from Menace.
Beast.
I think Matt is somebody who doesn't necessarily have too much of a position. I know he plays some first base.
Yeah.
But if he played on a major team, I would say that he would be probably a catcher EH, would be my guess. He can play first. I know I've seen him. He's not terrible over there. He's pretty dependable.
He's getting way better at first ever since he just kind of made a commitment to only being a first baseman.
Right. And so I haven't seen him too much defensively in the last year, but offensively, I know he's a top 5 hitter. When he's a very good hitter, and he's underrated.
He is.
I put him at 12 just because of the fact that I feel he might not have some of the experience and some of the, big time games played that some of the guys ahead of him has had. Matt hasn't played in some of the bigger games yet at the major level, and it does make a difference, when you're playing top games compared to when you're playing the A. But either way, Matt is a beast of a hitter, and I think is somebody who, I could see on the rise over the next 5 years if this game is still alive.
100%. Loves the game, plays it a ton with Menace, 2 leagues, every tournament. Guy hits his tail off at every tournament. So, and he's a lefty. I mean, he's got a really, 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 he's got a lot going for him in the right way. Matt's also a great human being. So go ahead with your next couple.
So number 11 for me is a guy who left Flash this year, and I believe he's heading over to Impact. I think he's a guy who is still can hit a ball in the infield, beat it out at first. He's a guy that can beat you in the gap. He's about a .90 hitter against me in his life. But outside of that, Donnie, Julian Gutierrez, I think, is still a difference maker when he is on the field hitting for a team. And I think he is, if the story is true and he's going to play for Impact this year, I think offensively he is going to help Impact a lot. And I remember when Julian came up kind of through the Smackout days, his first couple of years on Smackout, he was a guy who was hitting bombs to right field, right center, those type of things.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see Julian go back to that swing because I felt like that's when he was kind of more of a difference maker than what he's been trying to go this oppo stuff to left field, right?
Yeah, Julian's a beast, man.
Now, when he gets 2 strikes on him, I understand. He tries to, pick a hole. I get it. But I like to see him go back to swinging hard and trying to smoke a gap or 2 in the game and being a difference maker on that end. Even if he flies out, I'm okay with him trying to go and smoke that, right? So,
Yep.
but yeah, Julian at 11 for me.
Yeah, I view Julian as more of an outfielder for impact. He might have to play some right field or center field depending on where he's needed. He'll always be in the lineup for that team, and that's a really, really nice addition for them in the team that needs a little bit more power. Adding Julian and adding whoever we talked about earlier.
Yep.
Matt Menizzi makes a good point. He said a lot of Matts on this list, and I think that's a good good observation. So now we're rolling into the top 10, right, Jim?
Yeah, we're in the top 10. My number 10, I put him at 10 because I think this is where he's going to be a lot next year. He played a little bit of it last year, catch a EH role or catching. And especially on this team coming up, I could see him being the catcher because of his offensive skill, his speed, and some of the things he brings to the table. But he's also a guy that can go out and play right field. He can play second base. I've seen him do a lot of different stuff. He made an unbelievable play on us last year in Yuma, throwing, I believe, I don't know who it was. I think it was Nate or somebody on our team out at third base, and that's PJ Raines. PJ, I think, is still a young player. I'm not saying that he's going to be a catcher EH the rest of his life, but I think for this upcoming season, where I can kind of see him as more of the catcher EH spot when they play big games. He's definitely going to be in the lineup because of his bat. There's, in my opinion, no doubt, right? But I think he also brings other elements that gives Flash an opportunity to move people around. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And I think that's something that I hope he accepts that role on Flash, because I know he's a younger kid. And I hope that he understands that him being a catcher EH is not the end of the world for that team, because he's a guy that's probably going to be the backup second baseman. He's going to be the guy who might be backing up in right field. He might be a guy who's going to get a lot of time in the field. But when their full squad is there, and, not to say he can't beat somebody out in those positions defensively throughout the year, because he's not a bad defender. It's just that I think going into the year, I think that's where I see him penciled in at. And I haven't talked to Jibbs or any of those guys. I'm just going by my opinion. So I have him at number 10.
It's good. Yeah. I more so see him as like a utility guy, like you said. I know we might, run a utility list, as there's some guys who I think are very valuable at multiple positions, and PJ is atop that list for me.
Yeah.
So the next guy that we can mention in our list is Noach. Noach is a top 10 EH, catcher, can play a little first base as well. I think this upcoming season he'll be behind the plate and swinging just because of the additions that they made. Noach can go big. Noach can, kind of place it where he needs to. Don't make a mistake when you're pitching to Noach and go flat, because he'll hit it 500 feet. He's a big, strong guy. The only thing that Noach maybe lacks in when we get into the top 10 of some of these guys is foot speed. I think that some of the top 10 guys run really well, and it can extend things into doubles and triples. Noach just, rolls into first or rolls into second. He's happy, to be there, but as good as a hitter as you're going to find.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I did not put Noach in my top 20 list. The reason being is I had him in my top first baseman list.
Yep.
So,
I think I didn't put him in mine, so we're good there.
So, but number 9 for me is one of my nephews on the south side of Chicago, plays a lot in the Kennedy Park League. He was your honorable mention, and I have him in the top 10 because he has played major ball in the past. He's had a couple years where he was very good. He had a couple years that maybe, he was maybe not what he should have done. But I feel like since he's went and played park ball, he's become a lot more confident, which you and I both know that hitting is all about confidence.
Sure.
Stretch is a guy that can hit the ball farther than probably anyone in the game. He's also a guy that I feel can cut. He could dump. He could place. He could do a lot of things that a lot of these other hitters above him really can't do. But to your point, he doesn't play at the major level, and that is a different type of swing when you play against better competition week in and week out, we tend at the major level to take away your best balls and make you beat us with your third or fourth ball.
Sure.
So not to say that they don't do that at the park. I just say that we have a little bit better athletes than what we do here, from a standpoint of when he does play at the major level, is he still going to maintain that same type of thing? When I brought him to Iowa, he's still have been a difference maker, and I heard now that he's going to Yuma this year with Moist. So I look forward to seeing him out in Yuma. Hopefully he hits some home runs, just not against us.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's kind of a cheat code in Yuma because the fences are a little shorter and he can go big, and the plate is a strike there. So anything short, he's going to crush.
Correct. So
Yeah.
I have him at number 9.
Yeah.
Number
the next
8.
guy- Yeah, go ahead.
Number 8 for me. It might be a little high, just because, I think, he's getting older, but based on his longevity, he's still a hell of a hitter. And that is my boy, Scotty Herdecki. I have him at number 8. I think Scotty could still catch fire with the best of them. And when he's hot, boy, there is nobody better, right?
He's awesome.
He can still pound the ball to the gap. He could flip. He could cut. He could do a lot of things that Stretch can. I just have him at number 8 because he's done it more at the major level than Stretch, and he's done it for a lot longer time at the major level than Stretch, right? So that's why I have him one notch ahead of Stretch. But Scotty has been on all the major teams in his life. He's won Forest Park multiple times. He's been just a flat-out winner and a flat-out good player his whole career.
Yeah. And when I was coming up, when I first started getting introduced to the game, Scotty Herdecki was hitting some of the furthest softballs I've ever seen at Genera Park, over the road, into left field, onto the street. So that was a guy that I was like, damn, that's, he's the best of the best. And now he's defined his game so much and has changed his swings and has this little cut where he just kind of flips his hands and it goes, down the third base line. And it's just like, how the hell do you even do that? Scotty's a great, great guy to watch hit the golf ball or the softball. And he can also hit a golf ball, I heard. I have Richie Battistoni, towards the top 10 in my list. Richie always hits for a high average, can go opposite field really well, has big power too. If you cheat him, I've seen Richie go big. I think he had the highest average on Hexx last year, if I'm not mistaken, or one of the top averages on Hexx. He always kind of gets on base, I feel like, and he's a patient hitter. Richie's a nice hitter for Hexx.
Yep. My next guy is this is where I have, remember I said there's 2 spots where I have a 6A and a 6B because I didn't do any honorable mentions. Richie comes in with that spot along with Chris Lentine for me. So my 7A, 7B, Chris Lentine, my boy Richie Battistoni.
Okay.
Richie, I think you said everything you had to say. One thing about Richie, he gets big hits, not afraid of the big moment, right?
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've lived it. Always want a guy on that team that's like that. And then Chris Lentine, I think when Izzy's not in his ear or guys on the team are not in his ear and they just let him swing and they're not confronting him every goddamn swing, Chris is a very good hitter. When Chris gets in his head, that's when I feel like, and that goes for anybody, goes for myself, goes for a lot of guys in the game. It goes for anyone. When you're in your own head, shit just doesn't come out the same way. But Chris has a lot of, he's a smart hitter, swings at strikes, sometimes takes a little too many pitches. I always yell at him
He
for
does.
that.
As a pitcher, I noticed that Chris is really patient.
He's patient, but Chris has every ball. He can go deep. He can go down the right field line. He can go down the left field line. You know what I mean? He can go anywhere. So, and he's a smart hitter. And I think he's done it at the major level. And he's younger than some of the guys that I've mentioned below him. And, right now in the game, that does matter. So Chris, for me, comes in at number 7 along with Richie Battistoni.
Yep. Number 6, I'm going to head over to Signature and put my boy Pick there at number 6. Possesses some of the best power in the game. I've seen Pick go in waves to where he is a top hitter in softball with the work that he puts in. He can hit the ball 5,000 feet. And I've seen that. And it's really cool to be a part of and watch him go through the process and have a plan. And when he's really trying to go big, and he demands respect as a hitter. And then he goes through these cold spells. And I'm sure he'll tell you, like, man, he's trying to do some different things and he's trying to learn how to cut. And it's like, man, just hit the ball at the third baseman as hard as you can. I'm sure you'll bat 900, right? So
I don't know why he tries to cut. I don't get it.
I think it's because he sees the outfield so deep, right? He sees the outfield 5,000 feet away, and he's like, you know what? If I just try and dink something in there, he's also kind of a guy like Glenteen, like where people are kind of talking to him a lot, kind of putting their opinions in his head about what he should be doing. And if Pick just sticks to his plan, he's an amazing hitter.
Yep. My number 6 for me is Jake Reynolds.
Yeah, good one.
Jake from Old Timers. I think Jake would be a lot higher on my list. And he might be a lot higher on my list by the end of this year. Congratulations. He just got in the Hall of Fame in Iowa. In Marshalltown, obviously, he goes over the fence whenever he wants.
Yeah, with ease.
With ease. As I see him more here in Chicago, I think he's going to move up. They plan on playing a lot here in Chicago this year.
You good, Jim? Your eye? What's going on with your eyes?
I don't know. My left eye, all of a sudden just got something in it, and it's like blinking like crazy.
Okay.
But like something flew in it. So give me a second, Cousin Donnie.
Yeah, I'll go on with the next one. I was going to say Jake Reynolds is up there for sure. Take a second, get the trainer out. Jake Reynolds is awesome, man. He's a great, great hitter. He can do a little bit of everything too. He's got big power. He can also dink and dump a little bit, which I think is awesome about Jake. Another guy that hasn't been mentioned yet that I think deserves all the credit in the world as a hitter is Brian Nowakowski.
Yes.
I've never seen somebody command where they want to go with the ball with 2 strikes like Bino. And he has so much confidence in it as a hitter, right? We talked about confidence a lot. That eye is screwed up. You might have pink eye. Bino can put it anywhere he wants with 2 strikes, right field line, left field line. He is unbelievable when it comes to hitting.
So for me, number 5 is Pick.
Okay.
Your boy.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like what I said. It's about power, right? It's about having him. Man, I do have something in my eye, and it's bothering me now. I'll be right back, Donnie. Take a break from the show for a minute.
Well, now that he's gone, that's a good comment. JP says, when is the coach's list? Well, you'd have the 7 from signature, 1 through 7, and then probably, a couple guys. Bobby Russ will be in there. Probably Gibbs will be right there. JP, you'd probably fall down 13, 14. I'll see how my opinion of you changes after Yuma with Eye Candy to see how you coach that squad and where you put me and how we get along that weekend. So, Jimmy, quick break. You're back.
Yeah, no, I ain't going to be able to get it out. So I'm just going to finish the show.
All right, let's run through the last few then.
I'm going to gut it out. Number 4 for me is Bino.
Okay.
Bino comes in at number 4. A lot of things you said. He can flip. He can cut. He can go deep. He's a smart hitter. I mean, you name it, he does it, right? I think he comes in at number 4.
Number 4 for me, I have Vince Sacy. And he would probably be higher. I mean, he just doesn't show up a ton anymore. I know Forest Park comes around. Vince Sacy is an unbelievable hitter. A guy that can legitimately do anything. Yep,
absolutely. Number 3 for me is Manzella. I think Manzella is still, he's still very good. He's got a lot of big power. I know that he's no longer on flash. He moves over to iron. But I think Mans is really fast and really quick for his, for his size.
Yeah.
He gets a lot of cheap hits. You know what I mean? Hits the ball on the ground, does a lot of running, stuff like that. But he can still also hit the ball 300 feet if needed.
Yep. I agree.
So Mans comes in at number 3.
Yep. Man, that's a good one at number 3. I would 100% agree. I think Mans is number 3.
Yep.
Just for the reasons you said. And the big thing about Mans is he runs so well and he could do anything. I'll go
He
to my
runs
number
super
2.
well for a big guy.
Yeah, my number 2, and he might be, man, he's so darn good and such a good human being. Chris D'Agostino.
Okay.
Chrissy Dags for me, number 2. I mean, a role model for me as a left-handed hitter. That's exactly
Yep.
who you look at.
Yep. No, I have 2 number 2 guys, and I have 2 number 1s, like I said.
Okay.
I have Vince Stacy, number 2. When he shows up, I know last year he did not hit very well for us,
Yeah.
but in years past, he's been a absolute stud.
Dude.
Okay.
You're dying.
I don't know what flew in my eye, but like something's in there. It's like fuzz or something. Number 2 also is Al Rice. Al, I think Al is another guy who is kind of learning how to cut. He's learning how to hit gaps. He's learning how to do the flip. I mean, he's learning of the balls, and he's only 30 years old. So, I mean, he's walking into his prime years right now, and I think he's only going to get better. He's lost some weight. I think that'll help him. I don't think he's going to lose the power from the weight. I still think he's big enough guy where he's going to be swinging hard and that ball's still going to take off. So I have Al Rice and him. I have Al over Vince because of the fact that Al shows up all the time, and Vince doesn't play a whole lot of softball, but from a talent perspective, he's the best, one of the best there is.
I think we have the same number 1, but my 1B is Rosemont Dome Al Rice.
Okay.
He's my number 1 hitter in softball. Rosemont Dome Al Rice.
Okay.
Immediate home run. Hits 1,000 off me personally with 9 home runs. So Rosemont Dome Al Rice. And then number 1, I think we're going to both share the same answer, but it is probably the most talented hitter maybe this game will ever see from a pure hitting standpoint, and it's Wes Shannon.
Yeah, I mean, I know you're trying to get Wes on signature, so I appreciate you putting Wes number 1. But my number 1 is the second best looking guy in softball.
Yeah.
He is 1. Wes is my 1B. Okay. I think Wes is one of the guys that's a utility guy on my list. Okay.
You can play
So
anywhere.
he will be on my utility list as well. But Wes, to me, is an incredible hitter. I know you want him on signature, so you put him at 1. But my number 1 is Chris Dags. I think D'Agostino, he not only is he the second best looking player in softball, but he's also, I think, like a guy that can do anything he wants offensively. He's got big power for being the size that he is. He's played in a lot of huge and big games. He's won pretty much everything in his life. He's done a lot of stuff in the game of 16 in softball. He's also a guy that, you have a lot of fun with. And I think that matters a lot too. When you're talking, not just your play on the field, but off the field. He's got a great personality. He does a lot of cool stuff, obviously with his job and stuff like that he does in his personal life. But as a softball player, I just think that he brings another level, and that's my boy Dags.
Yeah, I saw Dags at the Chicago Golf Show. He runs his own company that does golf events, and they host corporate golf events. So if you guys ever need anything golf event wise, Dags, I want to have him on the show actually probably next week to talk about it. He gave me some merch when I was there, and I want to talk to him about that and just pick his brain about where he wants to go with the company. And Dags is an unbelievable human being and a great softball player. He's a Hall of Famer. But
Dags to me, I think the reason why I put him at number 1 is because of his speed too. I think
he runs so well.
He runs well. He's got power, and it seems like he's just a tough out.
Impossible.
And I make bets with him all the time. He cannot hit the ball at me, and I don't hit it at him. I know he plays catcher. I do not hit it at him. That is the
a couple people asking about Kearns. We can't pick retired guys on this list. Brian Kearns is retired. Actually, if he was not retired and flash full time, which he's still deciding on, I would say Kearns is probably a utility guy because he could play outfield as well.
I don't look at Kearns as a catch EH.
Yeah.
He's more of a utility guy. He plays a lot of center field for Flash when they're short guys.
Yep.
I've seen him in right field. I've seen him in the outfield more than I've seen him at catcher EH.
Yeah, I agree. So there you go. There's the list. Jimmy, we'll sign it off. I know that you're dealing with a little injury, but really quick, I wanted to give a quick shout out to Nick Mione, who's trying to run his own tournament out in Worth Park, trying to get some teams together for that. So I wanted to give him a quick shout out.
May 2nd, correct?
Sounds right.
At 107.
It is. Yep.
Yes.
In Oak Lawn.
In Oak Lawn. No, I don't know if it's Oak Lawn.
No, it's and 107 and Oak Lawn.
In Oak Lawn, Chicago Ridge, right?
Yep. Or Worth, technically.
Or Worth, yes. So hopefully get out there for him, guys. Get a team in, and we'll go from there. But Donnie, great show tonight, my man. A lot of fun as always. And we appreciate everyone watching the Uncle Jimmy Cousin Donnie Show, sponsored by the Beacons app, Signature Transportation Group, and Cut Shot. So my eye, I don't know what is wrong, but
have a cookie.
I made it.
See you guys.
I gutted it out. You would have quit the show. I gutted it out. All right.
I would have signed off hours ago.
Yes, you would have. And that's the difference between you and I. So everyone,
see you later.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.